Hello, everybody. It is Sunday. How we doing tonight? Who's with me tonight? It's Sunday, Sunday. Everybody loves it Sunday. Kitty's joining me on Sunday. Jennifer, how are you? How we doing this Sunday? Dennis is in the house. Happy Easter. Yes, happy Easter, everybody. We're doing the bunny hop tonight. Hey, Adele. Welcome, 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 everyone. It is Sunday. Easter Sunday. Hey, Joanne. How are you? Julie. Cindy. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the party, everybody. It's good to have you with us this Sunday. Karen, happy Easter. Jana, sitting across from Dennis on your own computer. Hey, Suzanne. Happy Easter, everybody. Jenny Walker from Pasadena. Looking forward to a time, Jenny, when you can go on vacation someplace and you can say hello from someplace other than Pasadena. That is what I aspire for all of us to be able to say. Hey, Alicia. Another Karen's on board. Woo! Hey, everybody. Happy Easter. Yes, it is Easter Sunday. Sundays. Sunny Sunday. It was a sunny Sunday. Actually, it was warmer than I thought today. The wind here in the Northeast died down a little bit today. I went for a nice walk today, which was great. I think we got about 2 miles in today for a nice walk because it is Self-Care Sunday. So what did you do to self-care today and take care of yourself some on this Easter Sunday? Hey, Rose, happy Easter. Yes, it is Self-Care Sunday. Tell me what we did for Self-Care Sunday. Tell me what we're grateful for, people. Hey, Vicky. Welcome to the party this Easter Sunday. What are we all grateful for? What do we do for Self-Care Sunday? It is Self-Care Sunday. It is time to care for ourselves so that we can get through this marathon that we call the coronavirus. You went boating. Very nice. Woo! That's very nice. Yeah, Vicky, those big storms are coming up here tomorrow. We're supposed to have huge wind and rain tomorrow. Julie, I pretty much took the afternoon off. I did a bunch of work this morning. I worked a bunch this morning. I fully admit that I did work this morning. I did not work hard this afternoon. I was saying to Cassandra, I don't know why I'm so tired this afternoon. I haven't done anything, And she's like, yeah, your body's not used to that. Kelly's cleaning up the backyard. Now we can sit outside with cocktails. I wish we had weather to sit outside with cocktails. We need a new picnic table. Our patio table died last year. The chairs are still good, but we need a new table. Family picnic on the beach. That sounds really nice, Lisa. That's a nice way to spend Self-Care Sunday, even in Alaska. Jennifer's boating in Florida. You're on the beach in Alaska. Ooh, carrot cake cupcakes. That sounds good. I have to admit, Alicia, that I like the frosting on the carrot cake cupcakes. I'm not a big carrot cake person myself, but I do like the frosting on the carrot cake. I will eat that. But all the women in my house like carrot cake, so they'd eat the rest of it. But I eat the frosting. I'm a frosting kind of guy, and that kind of thing. What else are we grateful for this Self-Care Sunday? It seems like a quieter day, which is nice. It was nice that we all got to have a quieter day out there today, and some peace and reflection, which is really. While this is a different kind of Easter for many, for everybody, ate a whole Reese's egg. Now that sounds good, Vicky. That sounds very, very good. I'm a sucker for chocolate, so I do like chocolate. That sounds very, very good. You know, it's a different kind of Easter, but I'm glad you took some time for you. I'm glad you took some time with the family that you are quarantined with, and I am glad that you had some peace in your day, and that is truly wonderful. We've got our Good Morning, Good Night book, and today we will flip to see what good morning. Hey, Krita. How are things in Texas, Krita? Hang on a second. That one's a little... Oh, this one looks perfect. Good morning. Before you let the world in, make a little space for yourself. Cup of coffee, tie to the counter, morning quiet. Savor the best part of that dream you had for one more second. Woo! Okay, have at it, world. And that is our good morning this Easter Sunday, folks. Let's see what I got for you here on Self-Care Sunday. So I've got reflection for you. I'm going to start with a little more reflection. Hello, Melissa. Are you on the treadmill this Self-Care Sunday, Melissa? I promise not to be too intense today, Melissa, so you might be able to get off the treadmill early. I'm not going to overwork you on this one. But I am going to give your mind something to think about. Especially as we've been quarantined and everything, and disconnected from things. Many of us have reconnected with family in different ways and with ourselves in different ways. And on Self-Care Sunday, I'm going to read you the story of 3,900 marbles, because this story is important. The older I get, the more I enjoy Saturday mornings. Perhaps it's the quiet solitude that comes with being the first to rise, or maybe it's the unbounded joy of not having to be at work. Either way, the first few hours of a Saturday morning are most enjoyable. That's great, Melissa. I just saw that pop up on my screen that you need 10 miles. You're not going to get it tonight. Maybe tomorrow when we're back to our normal full thing. Although I got 2 miles in today. A few weeks ago, I was shuffling towards the garage with a steaming cup of coffee in one hand and the morning paper in the other. We still get the paper delivered here. What began as a typical Saturday morning turned into one of those lessons that life seems to hand you from time to time. Let me tell you about it. I turned the dial up into the phone portion of the band on my ham radio in order to listen to a Saturday morning swapnet. Along the way, I came across an older-sounding chap with a tremendous signal and a golden voice. You know the kind. He sounded like he should be in the broadcasting business. Hey, Laurel. He was telling whoever he was talking with something about 1,000 marbles. I was intrigued and stopped to listen to what he had to say. Well, Tom, it sounds like you're busy with your job. I'm sure they pay you well, but it's a shame you have to be away from home and your family so much. Hard to believe a young fellow should have to work 60 or 70 hours a week to make ends meet. It's too bad you missed your daughter's dance recital, he continued. Let me tell you something that has helped me keep my own priorities. And that's when he began to explain his theory of 1,000 marbles. You see, I sat down one day and did a little arithmetic. You know me, I love the pink calculator. The average person lives about 75 years. I know that some live a little more and some live a little less, but on average, folks live about 75 years. Now then, I multiplied 75 times 52, and I came up with 3,900, which is the number of Saturdays that the average person has in their lifetime. Now stick with me, Tom. I'm getting to the important part. It took me until I was 55 years old to think about all this in any detail, he went on. And by that time, I had lived through over 2,800 Saturdays. I got to thinking, if I lived to be 75, I only had about 1,000 of them left to enjoy. So I went to a toy store and bought every single marble they had. I ended up having to visit 3 toy stores to round up 1,000 marbles. I took them home and put them inside a large, clear plastic container right here in the shack next to my gear. Every Saturday since then, I've taken 1 marble out and thrown it away. I found that by watching the marbles diminish, I focused more on the really important things in life. There's nothing like watching your time here on the earth run out to help you get your priorities straight. Now let me tell you one last thing before I sign off with you and take my lovely wife out for breakfast. This morning I took the very last marble out of the container. I figure that if I make it until next Saturday, then I've been given a little extra time. And the one thing we can all use is a little more time. It was nice to meet you, Tom. I hope you spend more time with your family, and I hope to meet you here again, here on the band. This is a 75-year-old man, K9NZQ, clear and going out. QRT, good morning. You could have heard a pin drop on the band when this fellow signed off. I guess he gave us all a lot to think about. I had planned to work on the antenna that morning, and then I was going to meet up with a few hams to work on the next club newsletter. Instead, I went upstairs and woke my wife up with a kiss. Come on, honey, I'm taking you and the kids to breakfast. What brought this on, she asked with a smile. Oh, nothing special. It's been a long time since we spent a Saturday together with the kids. And hey, can we stop at the toy store while we're out? I need to buy some marbles. So, while we're all quarantined here, and we know that's not easy, and we have this extra time that we never have, both in our life, in our business, in our families, I thought that's a good story that puts things in perspective of what's really important. And I hope that did something, hit you in a way too. Okay, moving on to more cheery things. This should be a good week, people. Hey, Karen is in from St. John's, and Michelle, welcome to the program. This should be a good week, and why is it going to be a good week? It might even be a great week. Well, there's lots of money happening in the Americas this week, and that's a really good thing, okay? So stimulus money is going out to people that have direct deposit, so regular everyday Americans are going to get, the average everyday American is going to get $1,200 per adult, and $500 per child, and it's going to go to wherever they paid their taxes from. So if you had direct deposit on a previous one, you're going to get direct deposit this week of that. People that haven't gotten their advance on the economic injury disaster loan, I expect them to get it, especially if they had done through the first week of April, applied for that. I expect a lot of that money showing up this week. Already saw it starting to show up on Friday, and I expect that to continue this week, and most everyone to see that at least the advance money this week, so that's a good thing, and some good money. Again, that's $1,000 per employee up to $10,000, so that is good, and so that is those are some really good notes and positive things that are going to start off our week. So again, it is important to be checking your bank accounts for those things and also be checking them for fraud because there is plenty of fraud still going on out there. So keep an eye on your bank account and your credit cards. It's much better when you catch that stuff sooner versus later. Internet rumors. So let's start with internet rumors because there have been lots of them the last 48 hours. I've gotten more freaked out calls about and emails just about, well, they said all the money is gone. It's gone. Where's all the money? How could they be out of money? They're not out of money. They actually print it. And sometimes they don't even have to print it. They just go to their computer and say, I want my balance to be bigger, and they increase the number. Okay? That is what the Treasury does when they want more money. They either print it or they change their bank account balance. It's a pretty good deal. I'd like to sign up for that. So let's talk about that for just a second. The Economic Injury Disaster Loan, that is funded by the SBA and the Treasury. Okay, the Treasury, it is not a line budgeted item. Okay, this is just keep on printing it and take care of everything the way... Thank you, Kelly. This is what people have been calling me with. This is what the emails have been. And it's just been like, tone it down. Reduce the panic. There's no need to panic here. I will tell you when there's a reason to panic. Don't worry. This is not it. The Treasury will not run out of economic injury disaster loan money. Okay, because they can print it. What's more, the reason that they won't run out of it is they don't need Congress to authorize it. So if they need more money for economic injury disaster loans, they just go over and say, hey, I want more money because we're writing it. Actually, the SBA, what they do is after your economic injury disaster loan is approved and closed, okay, you've signed all the paperwork away, you've said you can have your firstborn and the secondborn and especially the middle child, okay, after you sign that paperwork that says they can have that, okay, then they send it over to Treasury, and Treasury says, okay, we'll send the money, okay, that is how it works. It is literally that simple. It doesn't need anything special unless it's same-day wiring, which is usually not something they do, but they can do. But it'll get there in 1 to 2 days. So after it goes over to Treasury. Treasury is being very efficient with that. And so the economic injury disaster loan, SBA loan, will not run out of money. After all, they're loaning it to you. Okay, that is your government at work. The PPP money, that can run out of money. Okay, that is a $349 billion fund that was authorized, $349,350, that was authorized by Congress. It will likely run out of money. Okay, it's running out of money, and it's getting two different news clips. One, it will run out of the $350 billion, okay, which this is for the payroll protection program. And then Congress will come back after the American people cry to them and the news media tells them how awful they are to small business, and they will come back and they will authorize more, okay? So that will happen. It may not happen on the day it runs out of money. It may happen a week later, but it will happen, okay? I have full faith in Congress, which is not something to have a lot of faith in, but on this topic I do. The other part of it that's getting news, okay, and is creating the internet rumor that they're out of money, is banks have lending caps, okay? And it's not just a lending cap for this. They have to maintain asset to loan ratios. And otherwise they can't loan any more money. When they loan up to that ratio, they have to stop, okay? They have to stop for a period of time. Then the Federal Reserve comes in and buys their payroll protection loans, and then they can loan again. So it's the whole money system working together on this. So, but it gets news when Wells Fargo has to shut off their lending, or other banks across the country are shutting off their lending because of this. So we will get back to it, but I just want to shut down the internet rumors because they're just panic out of nothing. And I understand, looking at your bank balance and feeling panicked. I get it. Everybody that I've talked to has had that problem, okay? There's nobody that's been, woohoo, I have got so much money sitting behind me, I just don't know what to do with it, and I'm just throwing it around, and woohoo, and I don't know what all this panic's about with money. Nobody's been like that. Nobody! Okay? I don't care who you think is like that. Nobody has been like that. Okay? So, everybody hang out there. It's going to get better. This week will be part of that getting better. I think the stress level will come down a little bit. Even if you're only getting a little bit of money this week, the stress level will start to come down because there are good things happening. Actually, I expect this week, I've already started planning some of this week out of other things to talk about. I expect to be able to get into talking about reopening and planning for your reopening and things along those lines and things that we need to be planning for now for your store. So I am excited to be able to work some of that into this upcoming week because I expect the panic level to be coming down. I can say that because I'm also seeing new calls coming into me coming down, which is great. Okay, and I don't think it's just this Easter weekend. I think it's because things are starting to, the money is starting to flow, the pipes are getting primed, and we're going to start to see things get back. And that is a very exciting thing, and really, really, really very excited about that. So we'll be able to talk about that this week and planning for that. One of the other things I posted today, I posted a bunch of things that I'd promised to post. Yeah, Melissa, you have a whole history of doing, yes, Melissa, a margarita slushy machine can be purchased for the store as an expense, okay? It's both for care of employees and your customers. You've had Mexican taco tables and everything else. So I think that's totally something that is a business expense. Michelle, I am hopeful this week in many states will start to have self-employment be able to apply for unemployment. Some states have said like by the 20th. So that's coming, but I'll keep you posted. And yes, we got a lot of stuff to talk about with reopening. Oh, your kids are at that age, Julie, where they would probably be mad at you for selling it. But, we need a little joy. We need these things coming our way to look forward to. So, from a housekeeping standpoint, I know a lot of you never did the long form for the SBA Economic Injury Disaster Loan. You did the short form and you heard, well, they'll get back to you. Well, they will get back to you. Today on the NARTS website and on the NARTS.org, on the NARTS Facebook group and in NARTS.org/resalestrong, I posted the long form, not the long form, but the checklist of things they are going to ask you when they come back to you. Imagine how much faster your application will be processed when they call you, okay, if you already have that stuff all ready to send them. And if you have it in PDFs already scanned to send them, your application will go much, much faster if you can just upload that to them as soon as they're ready for it. So if you haven't printed that today, put that on your list for tomorrow. The SBA long form checklist to get those documents together. Again, I worked on it from start to finish. It was more than 2 hours for me to get it all together, done, sent in. On the SBA loan abatement. Oh, Jennifer Henderson, are you asking about for an existing SBA loan? They're doing that automatically for all existing SBA loans. They're automatically for existing loans. They're paying them for existing regular SBA loans. The SBA is automatically paying your principal and interest for the next 6 months. And if you have a disaster loan, there are no payments due. They're handling it automatically. You don't have to do anything for it, Jennifer. The SBA is taking care of that automatically. It may take a couple of weeks to get it all caught up. The worst thing if you happen to make a payment is it'll apply to your loan and your principal will come down. But they are taking care of that automatically on that, for that. And that's actually the next thing I was going to talk about tonight was terminology. Okay, there is a lot of terminology getting tossed around between people's credit cards and mortgage companies and landlords between the terms forbearance, deferment, abatement. What do these terms mean? And are there actual definitions and what they really mean? It's kind of like tomato, tomato. Yes, there are actual definitions, okay, of what these words mean, but people in applying them, and different companies in applying them, are applying them in different ways. So what you really need to understand in any circumstance with these terms is whether they're actually writing it off so that you don't have to pay it again, like the SBA is doing with loan payments on existing regular SBA loans. They're saying the no payments or interest for 6 months, they're making the payments. So they're not moving those payments to the end. What a lot of mortgage companies are doing is they are doing a forbearance. Okay, and under the CARES Act, mortgage companies for personal home mortgages were required, and in many states have enacted laws to require them to defer payments for 90 days, okay? Forbearance, defer payments. Well, what that means is in 90 days, if you haven't made 3 months of mortgage payments, you have to make 3 months of mortgage payments like a balloon payment all at once. other companies, other individual loan servicers are moving your loan date, okay, that your next payment is due in 3 months, okay, and they're adding on 3 months onto the end of your loan. So so you don't have this balloon payment in 3 months, okay? You have, it still accrues interest during the 90 days based on your current balance, but your next payment is your next normal regular payment. If your normal payment's $1,000, in 90 days your normal payment is $1,000, and you just have, your loan is extended out 3 months. Each situation is different, okay? The terminology is being intertwined, okay? So it's important to actually read and understand what's happening, because I don't want you to think, the idea being, and why this was put into the CARES Act and why it was put into various state legislation on the banks, was because they knew you were going to be made whole. The government is pumping so much money into the economy for people, okay, through extra unemployment benefits, through the tax stimulus and such, that people were going to have the money to be able to pay their bills. So to make that happen, they asked for a delay in it. But make sure that you understand which way, if you are taking a delay, whether it's as part of your mortgage or a credit card payment or a car payment, okay, which all of them have been excellent. The only one, again, that I have heard of being awful on any of this is Citibank, okay, but everybody has been really great on this, okay, but they haven't been abundantly clear. You need to actually read it, because I don't want you to wake up in July and think you're going to go pay your regular mortgage payment and they're looking for 3 months of payments and you went and spent the stimulus money on a new boat, okay, because you got this extra money and you're like, I got 3 kids and we're 2 adults, so $2,400 plus another $1,500, I'm getting all this money, woohoo! I got $3,900. We're going to Disney World. Whatever. I don't want you going and blowing it on that and then realize in July that you have 3 mortgage payments due. So keep that in mind. If they're tacking it on the end, or if they're doing it. And the same in your commercial leases. Hey, Ellen, how are you tonight? Great to have you and Mike watching tonight. So in the same in your commercial leases, some landlords are tacking it on to the end of your lease. Okay, they're just moving the payments that are due now, and at the end of the lease, you have a big balloon payment for a couple of months' payment, okay? And others are adding 2 or 3 months to your lease. And others are just abating the payments altogether. So you really need to understand, okay, what the wording is. This is real important to actually read, okay? What is going on with this, because it is different in each one, and I've had several of you send me the actual written of what you're being offered or what you're being sent, and I'm happy to review that with you to make sure that you're actually understanding which circumstance, because it sounds really great if you don't have to pay April's rent, but if you owe April in July or April and May's in July, in addition to July's rent, that isn't so great, especially if you didn't realize it. Okay, so I don't want a bunch of you crying at me in July, oh my God, I didn't know my landlord did this to me. Okay, so understand what is being offered, understand the wording in it, and that way we won't have any surprises. I don't like surprises. I'm not a big surprise kind of guy. I'm really a straightforward kind of guy. So keep that in mind with the wording so that you understand it and do not get hit up by it. What else I got here? That's that. Again, for those of you that didn't join us last night, I just want to quickly shoot down some of the bullets of a proposal to open things back up. This is various business associations are working together with the states to define what that would look like in our businesses, or what types of things they would allow, so that we can have similar regulations from state to state when we're able to announce opening dates. And this particular draft is based on a May opening, being able to open it in May under that, being optimistic about that. And that is allow a statewide 40% fire occupancy standard, including staffing, in essential and non-essential facilities, including stores, restaurants, warehousing, office buildings, manufacturing facilities, etc. Implement an appropriate range of employee testing/protection procedures as available and affordable, allowing a variety of temperature, antibodies tests, supplying masks, face covers, gloves, etc. Implement customer safety. Establish sufficient social distancing parameters, including 6-foot standard. Implement CDC cleaning and sanitizing standards, suggested face coverings, etc., and make either restrooms for hand washing or sanitizer available. Initially reduce pre-closure weekly operating hours by 20% to ensure ongoing sanitation and cleaning efforts. Continue at-risk customer hours for each open day at essential businesses. Continue pause on self-service food stations. Continue temporary ban on reusable bags, allowing for the use of plastic bags until all restrictions are lifted. If appropriate, remove or further loosen the above standards by Memorial Day weekend. And establish a consumer confidence plan, such as accelerating sales tax holidays to June in states, and implement a buy in your state consumer education efforts and why people should shop and buy in your states. So these are real important programs. This, again, is just a draft proposal at this point. I expect a lot more on it this week, and to keep on top of that. So I am keeping on top of that, and am involved in some of these discussions. I actually was involved in one today about it. Yeah, Michelle, that's going to be a really good question on where you can find masks for your team or sanitizing products. And that's going to be one of the questions that has to be answered is where are businesses going to be able to find an affordable supply of those things, and what are states going to be able to do to protect and guarantee that businesses can get those supplies as needed. So that's a very, very good question, and one that I've asked. Especially where medical supplies are still tight, but things are getting better. Governor Cuomo even returned some ventilators today to a nursing home in the town where I grew up in. Himself, he actually made an appearance of returning some that they didn't need that were excess, which I thought was kind of nice to them. Yes, Jennifer, I think you will eventually get a notice directly about that, but they are, getting mail out is not the SBA's finer point right now. But I believe, but it is widely documented. Email me and I should be able to find you documentation on it. Jennifer Henderson, I'd be happy to send that to you. I know I have it, so that you have it for your records, and I will send you from an official source, not just some news clip on it. And that is correct, Kelly. Homemade masks should be washed frequently. And Crystal's posting a place for JohnnyWaz.com for masks to do it. So that is our Self-Care Sunday, folks. That is a lot of what's happening tonight. A quieter day. I know Melissa's not getting her 10 miles in on her treadmill tonight, but don't worry, there's tomorrow night, because I'm back here every night at 8 to provide you the latest and greatest information, let you know what's happening out there. You can find me anytime at Neil, N-E-I-L, at ECIstores.com. That is Neil, N-E-I-L, at ECIstores.com. You can find the replays of these videos at narts.org/resalestrong, or the YouTube channel Not Alone Running This Store. And from our Good Morning, Good Night book, our Good Morning, I'll email you tomorrow, Jenny. I saw that email in there. I'll email you in the morning. I'll find time on Wednesday, I think it was. Good morning. Before you let the world in, make a little space for yourself. A cup of coffee, tie to the counter, morning quiet. Savor the best part of that dream you had for one more second. Whew! Okay, have at it, world. Our good night tonight from our Good Morning, Good Night book. Before you turn the world down, make a little space for yourself. Brush your teeth, tie to the counter. Put down the phone, people. Savor the best part of the day for one more second. Woo! Okay, have at it, dreams. Yes, don't stop dreaming, people. That is from our Good Morning, Good Night book. I am Neil Abramson, and I do weddings, bar mitzvahs, quinceañeras. I'm screwing that totally up. But if there's a party, I am there for you. I am here every night live at 8 o'clock Eastern. You can find me at Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com. You, and most definitely, you are not alone running this store. I'll see you tomorrow night at 8, everybody. Have a great night. It's dinner time.